Hey guys, Mortgage Mark. Well, do another edition of Buy the Charts. I tell you, the background here today kind of makes me feel like a football player doing a press conference. Maybe now I'll get a microphone put in front of me. I can act like It's just a real tough game out there. Did what we could, taking it day by day. Anyway, let's go to the charts here. Get into it. So for housing, rates continue to get better. Remember, green is good, guys. And look at this run we've had since basically end of June, mid-June. Just little by little inching our way up, and thanks to COVID, we're coming in and creating a little more uncertainty. Rates have gotten better. Things have also started cycling out, to where there's not as much uncertainty now to where big investors can come in and start buying more mortgage-backed securities. That certainly helps. But all in all, either if you're buying a house, you can now buy significantly more house than you could have 8 months ago. And then if you haven't refinanced, you need to. That's pretty much the end of it. So rates are in the twos. It's really good. If you'll notice, Google activity for home inspections and appraisals bouncing up big. It's actually almost, at a high for the last couple of years. So that's the good news. Here's another chart that just shows the pending home sales. That's we've seen in a decade. More to that story, mortgage purchase apps. Also just rebounding so big that we're still the best in basically a decade. So housing is super strong. Let's keep the momentum going. Love to see that. From a COVID standpoint, Texas, we're getting a little better. But overall, Arizona, California, Texas, we're making up the majority of the cases compared to the rest of the United States. But the good news is they're starting to go down, at least from a hospitalization standpoint. So wear your mask, be safe. Thought this was interesting. It's kind of confusing, but ultimately it just kind of shows the milestones of when things are happening. And if you don't know this, the extra $600 in unemployment just expired. Obviously, we need our politicians to agree if we want another stimulus to come, but at the end of the August 8th is the deadline for the PPP loans. I suppose if you needed one, you probably already gotten one. September 30th is the end of the student loan piece and the airline support. And at the end of the year, you get payroll tax. That's a long way away. So point is, things are starting to expire. We don't have a solution yet. I think we desperately need it. Here's where that extra $600 basically really does hurt the most, and it makes total sense. So places where the cost of living is very expensive. So California, that $600 is certainly needed because of the cost that's out there. If you live out in, South Dakota, Montana, or somewhere like that, maybe the $600 goes a lot farther. So while it's still important, it may not be, a matter of putting food on the table or not. From an economic standpoint, we are rebounding slowly. Coming out of March, you can kind of see the lulls here for the manufacturing and what we're doing here. Gold. Man, I got gold coins, and it's now above 2,000 as I'm doing this taping. So it's been a wild ride. If you got gold coins, I suspect it could go higher for a little bit, but I got to be honest, I'm going to start looking at what it takes to sell mine, just because what a good run, and I don't want to miss that top. Don't get greedy. U.S. energy exports to China. Here's what's normal and expected. The pace, the $26 billion that we kind of target, and here's where we are year to date. So we're kind of off on that. We need to get going, and obviously China and U.S. haven't been playing very nice lately for the energy. So all to say, and again, I should qualify this is for energy exports. So it's not hard to see why that gas and natural gas and oil and all that fun stuff is down. Obviously, not as many people are driving, flying, and all that, but still, even when your foreign buddies don't help you out, I get it. Fed curve. This was amazing to me. We're even more so now pricing in negative interest rates. So supposedly the market thinks that sometime in the year 2022-ish, so call it a year and a half from now, that the Fed may dip into negative territory. We shall see. By the way, side note, that doesn't necessarily mean your interest rate on mortgages are going to be free. Just because the Fed lowers their rates does not mean they're at zero right now. So that doesn't mean our mortgage interest rates are zero. So just throwing that out there. But it is interesting how the market's still pricing in some drastic measures of the Fed. Miscellaneous stuff, I just thought this was interesting. Check out the U.S. Sports betting, assuming we have sports, but this is the projection so far for what it's going to be. And just notice how, it's basically almost a 10x multiple in a matter of just 6-7 short years. So this is broken down by state. Each color is a state, but it's impressive. As far as food deliveries, again, just thought this was interesting. You got Grubhub losing ground here. DoorDash picking up steam. The rest of them, Postmate, Uber Eats, kind of hanging out, but I'm just impressed that they're actually monitoring this. So lastly, I just thought this was funny. As you guys probably know, the president's threatening, not to allow TikTok in the United States unless they get bought. Microsoft's, I think, #1 contender right now. But check this out. As far as all U.S. adults, it's split pretty evenly. Third of you don't care, third of you do, and third of you say you shouldn't. So yes, they should ban it. No opinion. No, they shouldn't ban it. And obviously, I don't say obviously, but it kind of makes sense down here. For baby boomers, the older you get, they're going to say, yes, you should ban it. But the people actually using it, probably the Gen X, millennials more so, and Gen Zs, I think the more you use it, the more you don't want it banned. So I just thought that was interesting. Who monitors this stuff? I don't know. It's beyond me. By the way, if you're Republican, pretty good chance you want it banned as well. So there you go. So guys, as always, thank you so much, as always, for checking us out. If you need something from me or if you just want to share some information for a chart in the future, let me know. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.